All right, hello everybody. Thanks for joining us this special bonus Friday Facebook Live. Once again, this Facebook Live is brought to you by Jiffy Lube of Greater Sacramento. So thank you so much for your support. And if you at home would like to support us during this time, you can find our emergency relief fund on our website. And here we are with the Okapi and their keeper, Kelsey. Hi, Kelsey.
One of my favorite animals here that a lot of people have actually never seen or maybe heard of, the Okapi. So we have two Okapi here at the Sacramento Zoo. This one over here is Forrest. He's our 2-year-old Okapi male. He was born at the Denver Zoo in 2017. And off in the other side is Molimo, or Mo is his nickname. And he is 7 years old, Okapi male. And he was born at Disney's Animal Kingdom in 2017. So a question that we get a lot of times when people first see these guys is, what are they? Are they a zebra? Are they a horse? Are they a hybrid? So these guys are their own species of animal, and they're the only living relative to the giraffe. So they have no relation to a zebra, actually. And you might be wondering then, why do they have stripes that look like zebra stripes? So for similar reasons that zebras have stripes and animals have spots and like burrowing owls have their speckled feathers, it's primarily for camouflage. So these guys live in dense rainforests and one particular forest in the world called the Ituri Forest in the Democratic Republic of the Congo in Africa. So these guys' stripes help break up their body so that predators can't see just one huge animal. So those stripes actually mimic rays of sunlight that come through the very shaded forest, and they're also unique to each individual.
So once again, thanks for joining us, you guys, with these Okapi. And if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments below. Kelsey's going to keep giving us some really cool fun facts about the Okapi, but if you have specific questions, let us know and we'll try to get to them.
Yeah, so we have two males here at the Sacramento Zoo. And these guys are actually what we call sexually dimorphic from females, meaning that they have different characteristics between males and females. So with male Okapi, they have those ossicones, which are on their heads, and those are essentially horns that are covered with skin and fur. Okapi males are actually also smaller than females. Okapi males can range up to about 650 pounds, whereas females can actually reach up to 800 pounds. So Okapi males will reach about a height of 6 feet versus females can reach more, 6.5 to 7 feet in height. Do we have any questions?
We have one question asking you if they are nice.
These guys are very calm animals and a little shy and elusive, kind of secretive. That is their general nature. In general, we are very fortunate that these guys actually do like interacting with people and especially their keepers. So we are able to do quite a bit of hands-on interaction, relationship bonding, and even training with them.
All right. And yeah, so once again, if you guys have any good questions for us, put them in the comments below. And if you guys are just joining us, this is our special bonus Friday Facebook Live with the Okapi and their keeper, Kelsey. This Facebook Live is sponsored by Jiffy Lube of Greater Sacramento. We're so grateful for that help, and if you guys at home would like to support us during this time, you can find our emergency relief fund on our website. Okay, so we do have some more questions coming in. We've got a couple about what do they like to eat and what do they eat?
So here at the Sacramento Zoo, our Okapi do get a supplemented grain diet that is specifically for wild herbivores. They also get a variety of produce. They especially like sweet potatoes, squash, and some apples. They also really like romaine lettuce. But their absolute favorite snack are browse. So browse are essentially leaves off of trees and different bushes. You can see Forrest right here is snacking on some browse that we have provided to him. His favorite is mulberry. And so these guys are what you call browsers. And so they will walk through that very dense rainforest and kind of walk and just pick and eat the leaves off of all the plants around them. And these guys in the Ituri Forest in the Congo can eat up to 100 different species of plants as they go along. And they will actually even eat some toxic plants. So these guys will also eat various charcoals and other minerals to help detoxify the plants, the toxic plants that they might have eaten. So you guys can actually help us out and help the animals with some food. If you are trimming some of your trees in your yards, you actually could donate it to the animals at the zoo. So for more information about who to contact and the approved browse that you can donate, you can check out the Sac Zoo website, and most likely it's /browse, which is BROWSE, the same as browsing the internet. And Forrest's favorite browse is mulberry, and Mo's favorite browse is elm. So those are pretty common trees that you might have in your yards.
Okay, so we've got a couple more questions. So we've got somebody wondering, how long do they live?
So these guys in the wild can probably live to about 20 to 25 years old, but in human care, since we do have great veterinary care, these guys can live up to 30 years old.
Awesome. I know you might have mentioned it a little bit earlier, but we do have somebody asking, how tall are they?
So Okapi males can reach up to about 6 feet in height and maybe 5 to 6 feet in length. And females will actually be a little taller, hitting more even towards 7 feet in height.
Awesome. We have one very good question. When they're being vocal, what kinds of sounds do they make?
Ooh, good question. So if you guys listen really carefully, you guys hear that? If you guys didn't hear anything, that is okay. I didn't hear anything either. So these guys actually have infrasonic vocalizations, meaning they are too low in frequency for humans and other animals to hear. So this is actually a great adaptation for these guys so that they can talk to each other in the wild, and especially for mothers and calves to talk to each other without predators finding them or hearing them.
We did have one more question. How fast can they run?
So these guys can probably run pretty fast. I would guess probably around 25 to 30 miles per hour. They would run in very short spurts though, because they do live again in that dense rainforest, so they don't have an open plain to really run for long amounts of time.
All right, so again, if you guys have any questions about the Okapi here for Kelsey, let us know in the comments down below and we will get to them, or we will at least try to. If you're just joining us, why don't you go ahead and introduce them again, Kelsey, for anybody just joining us.
Yeah, so these guys are our Okapi here at the Sacramento Zoo. This one is 2-year-old Forrest, and he was born at the Denver Zoo in 2017. And then over here on the other side is Mo, or Mo is his nickname, and he is our 7-year-old Okapi male born at Disney's Animal Kingdom in 2012.
All right, so we've got some more really good questions. We have one from Stephanie. How big do their horns get?
So those ossicones that only males have can actually grow pretty long. I would say I have seen some Okapi with maybe 4 to 5-inch ossicones. So if you look at Forrest ossicones over here, they are still growing and pretty long, versus Mo's are a little stubbier. And again, these guys, only males would have the ossicones. You would not see females with those ossicones, which are essentially horns covered with skin and fur.
Okay, so now another good one. Do Okapi live in herds?
So these guys do not live in herds. These guys are actually primarily solitary in nature. The only time you'd probably see 2 Okapi together is either during breeding time with a male and a female, or a mother and her calf. So since it is a very dense rainforest in the Ituri forest, it probably wouldn't be very good for them to live in big herds, where it's easier to make a lot of rustling sounds and attract predators and other humans too.
All right, we have another very good question here from Aaron. How do you tell Mo and Forrest apart?
So I've worked with Mo and Forrest for about a year now, so they do have very different kind of looks to them. Forrest, to me, has a lot longer face and kind of a little more rounded. I still say he has a little bit of a baby face. He is just 2 years old. He also has longer ossicones, and his stripe pattern, again, is unique to him. Mo, on the other hand, has a little more of a blockhead, is what I kind of say. He's a little denser in nature and has shorter ossicones.
All right, and we have April here. Do they feel as soft as they look?
Yes, so these guys do look velvety and they do feel very velvety. So again, these guys live in a dense rainforest setting, so they actually have natural oils that are coming off of their fur or their skin. And that does help them repel water off of their bodies.
All right. And then we have another sharp-eyed viewer asking us, why do they have a blue tongue?
So these guys, just like giraffes, do have that dark colored prehensile tongue. And that is because these guys are ruminants and they will be browsing and eating food pretty much throughout the entire day. And so having their tongue out for that long increases their chance of it getting sunburnt. So having that darker color does prevent their tongues from getting sunburnt.
All right. So we do have somebody asking, what's their favorite food to eat?
So their favorite food to eat is browse. So you'll see Forrest here is munching on some mulberry. That is his absolute favorite browse. And browse again is essentially the leaves off of trees and bushes.
All right. We have a question from Rachel here. Do they like scratches?
So these guys do actually really like scratches, especially from their keepers and even sometimes from guests if they get that opportunity. So these guys, we are very fortunate to be able to build that relationship with them, to give them scratches and really work with them hands-on. So Mo especially loves his morning kind of scratches, especially around the ear and around his ossicones, and also under his chin and down his neck.
All right. So again, if you guys are just joining us, we're here with the Okapi and with their amazing keeper, Kelsey. If you guys have any other questions, let us know down in the comments below. This Facebook Live is again sponsored by Jiffy Lube of Greater Sacramento. We are so fortunate for all of their help, and if you guys at home want to help us in this time, you can find our emergency relief fund that you can donate to on our website, as well as that browse program that Kelsey mentioned a little bit earlier. If you're just joining us, you might not have heard about it, but if you have any tree trimming you're doing around the house, as she mentioned, the Okapi here, their favorite snacks are that browse, and we would love to give you more information about that. You can find it on the website under browse, BROWSE. All right, let's see. We have some more questions coming in. What do they do for fun besides eat?
So these guys do primarily like to eat. That's kind of their thing. They'll kind of walk around and continuously eat. But these guys actually will kind of come by and interact with each other. So you might notice that our two males are separated into two different yards, and that is because the Okapi are solitary in nature, especially males can be territorial, so we don't want to have any chance of a negative experience between the two. But you will oftentimes see them actually meet each other at the fence line and give each other some massages with their tongues. So they love to lick each other's faces and lick the earwax out of each other's ears. So a lot of times you will actually see them interacting with each other.
Right. I think we got a question of how fast can they run?
So these guys most likely could run around 25 to 30 miles per hour.
And then we have, I believe it's Ayla, who is 12, and she's wondering, are they friendly?
Yes, these guys are very friendly. We are very fortunate that they are a very calm and kind of interactive animal, especially with their keepers. So they have been an absolute joy to work with.
All right. So I think if you have any more fun facts about the Okapi that you want to share with us, and anybody watching at home that has any last minute questions that you want us to try to get to, feel free to put them down below. We did just get one very good question from Selena. Are they endangered?
Yes, so Okapi are endangered, and their populations have estimated to decrease about 50% in the last 15 years. So these guys again live in the Democratic Republic of the Congo in the Ituri forest, and their main danger is habitat loss, especially deforestation due to unsustainable agriculture. There also is a lot of illegal mining and poaching that happens. So it's a little hard to actually know the full extent of population of the Okapi in the wild. There is a lot of social and political turmoil that happens in the Congo, so we are actually not able to access the entirety of the Ituri forest to get their populations. So ways that you can actually help the Okapi out are talking about them. So talking to other people about Okapi and getting them excited about this really cool animal that you might have never seen or heard of. Also recycling your electronics and cell phones. A lot of times there's a mineral in there that is illegally mined in those forests. And also sustainable products like sustainable palm oil is a great way that you can help these guys and bring awareness to their cause.
All right. I think we have one last question, if you know it. How long is their tongue?
So Okapi tongues can most likely reach out to about 14 to 16 inches out from their faces. And again, they are prehensile tongues, meaning that they are able to grasp and grab items. So they're able to pick off individual leaves and be very picky if they want to.
Okay. Actually, one last question from Isaiah, who's 10, wants to know what's in the bucket.
So right now we do have some produce in that bucket for Forrest. He's getting some yellow squash, carrots, sweet potato, and I believe cucumber. But you can see he mainly likes that browse. He keeps going back to that browse.
All right, so again, thank you guys so much for joining us for this Facebook Live with the Okapi. We will say goodbye to the Okapi and their amazing keeper, Kelsey. Again, this video was sponsored by Jiffy Lube of Greater Sacramento. And thank you guys so much for your support and checking in with us and watching and supporting our animals. And we will see you with our next Facebook Live on Monday at 11 a.m. Can't wait to see you all there.